Hi, hello, welcome. Um, yes, as you can see, I have some drives here. These are not, except for the one on the bottom and the Lieutenant Colonel, these are different. You see, I had checked out some others, and then of course I didn't put any documentation on. I thought they were the ones that were sitting here before, but they weren't. They're other ones. So the four that I tinkered with before are all down here, safely on the floor, not on their sides. They're a nice pile under a table. Yes. And it's funny, I put on my quadfocals, and I'm finding that the middle section is either nothing, or it's kind of close to whatever my prescription is. So this is kind of cool. But if I go up, or down, or down, or up, ooh. But it's good for reading, like serial numbers. So, right. So what are we going to do? Well, I'm pulling out the serial cable from the 1541 on the bottom, and I'm putting it into the 1541 third from the top. And I will put in the test demo disc. Oops. What have I done? Something is not right here. There, okay. So we'll change the background, change the foreground, change the cursor color to white, which of course is poke 53281 and 53280, comma 0. And then I press Control and 2 to make the cursor white. So here we have another 1541. And the directory loads. So we will load the performance test, because that's what we do. And we grab this disk that is supposedly blank. Well, it's got to be blank now because I've run it through a bunch of times. And we press return and we see. Now this is, unfortunately, this is because I did not document things. I may be actually testing things again. This is why, of course, it is important to document 1541. March 2021. And it seems to be working, but while we're here, let's look at this. 1541. Shocking. Now there is on the top of this pile a 2031. There is. And then there's the remarkably dirty one that I think didn't work, but you know what? I didn't make notes. So we got 1, 2, 3. What we got? Oh, wait a second. Oh, well, look at that. I didn't notice that. What we have here, actually, there are two. March 2021. Okay, so I think I have all the sheets ready. I think. Now, with the 2031s, right here, right now, I don't have an interface ready and a cable ready to check them out. I don't. But I can plug them in and turn them on. They do look pretty much like a 1541, just like the SFD 1001, which was a whole other beast, but it looked just like these. Okay, so let's look here. Oh, this one is closed. Is there a disc? There is not. Okay, so this is running through its testing, and it is fine. So, don't need a whole lot of documentation. I'll just say it works. Oh, turn it off again now. So, I take the serial cable and the power cable, plug it into this one. Okay, and already I know there is trouble, and nothing is going to happen here, so it's just going to lock up. So, spins. Actually, I'll write spins endlessly and slide that in there. So there's no point in doing anything else with that at this moment. So remove some cables, turn it on. This one is, oh, I remember. No. Right. This one is, okay. Ejection, spring, trouble. Now the thing is, I don't remember if this one worked or did not work. But I do remember I took a Q-tip and bent it sort of just in half and used that to retrieve, or try to retrieve, the disc that was in it. Alright. And it came out. That's right, that was Summer Games. So, now, what is this? The empty disc. So even though this is ugly and gross and dirty, and I'm going to have trouble getting this disc out, I'll just see what happens here. I think, if I remember, this one failed. But it doesn't sound bad so far. Anyway, remember, Q-tip, folded. Well, I tried to get it in half, kinda. So, we'll see. Ejection, spring, trouble. Q-tip. And then we'll see what happens. It is filthy, this disc. Filthy. You probably can't see how filthy. You probably saw in a previous video how filthy. Probably. So, we're now just down to the 2031s. And we'll see what happens here. funny. My grandmother had bifocals, and she said, "Well, you just get used to them." But these, I'm like right there. The phone is magnificent. There. And if I look way down, and if I look way, yeah. So this is now spinning, waiting to see what is happening. I don't remember. That is why I must make notes. Ugh, and I think I'll take those off. Okay, even the training. Okay. Fails. So there. Stick that in there. And then try and rescue the blank disc. Oh, that went well. Alright. We will not continue the test. I'll turn it off. Now, there's no point in trying to plug the serial cable into one of these. Oh! You see, on the back of this, although it looks like a 1541, it definitely is not. It is a 2031 LP. Serial number 260. Yeah, I don't know how many of these they made. I don't. Whoa. I have somewhere a high-profile one. I like them better. They were more like the pet things. Anyway, let's just turn it on. See what we see. Okay. This is too bad. But, no. So it spins endlessly. This typically means that one of the main chips is not happy. But you never know. So, to me it looks like the bottom of this case would fit nicely on a 1541, but not the top. And this next 2031, I gotta see if I got enough reach. Oh yeah, I do. It looks like maybe it's fallen. Like the case is not broken. It just looks distressed. And it too spins endlessly. So, we do not have things that are necessarily working, but at least they are documented. Now, this one, what does this one do? Works. Okay. I did want to try. Oh my. Okay, I did want to try one thing, just to see what's what. So I'm going to turn this on, reset the 64. I have here Summer Games 2 on disc. And I don't think I've had a chance to really try it in a drive that I was pretty sure was working. So I'm going to do the ever popular load, quote, asterisk, quote, comma, 8, comma, 1. Now the last time I tried this, and I don't remember what drive it was, it just sort of went into a whole thing of where it just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and nothing ever came of it. I would like to think that that will not happen this time. Oh! Summer Games 2! It is up on the screen. I'm not... Oh, no, I don't think I have to do anything. This does bring back... Oh, the flame is lit. This brings back memories of sitting in the back bedroom of my mother's house, or my grandmother. And the house was sort of a typical Toronto bungalow. You went in, there was a hall that led to the kitchen, and if you went to the left, there was like the living room and the dining room, and of course a door that went back to the kitchen, and then behind there were 2 bedrooms. One on the left, one on the right. The one on the right was where the Bradley Brothers bulletin board system ran, and we had other things set up. Okay, now. Oh, okay. Press. Oh. Well, it's telling me to press the joystick button. I don't have a joystick here. Maybe something else will work. Maybe not. Oh, I did something. Something happened. I pressed one of the shift keys. Anyway, this is the closing ceremony. Something is flying through the air. Oh, okay. I believe it is a little man on a jetpack. And maybe he is going to come and put out the flame. Oh. Maybe. Oh, the flame is out. And there goes the Epic's blimp. It's funny, you know, I did have this turned down some. And the danger here is, I'm not sure... Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. The danger in reaching beside a TV like this is... Oh, fireworks. Is, when you don't know the buttons, you could open up the menu and do all kinds of things, and I don't want to change the input or do any of that stuff. But I would say that Epic's put a lot of effort into this game. The gameplay, but also this is the closing ceremony, so I could have picked the opening ceremonies, I suppose. Anyway. Yes, there's a lot of fireworks. Nothing like sprite technology. Anyway, but I'm glad I was able to test. I didn't know if this disc worked, and I hadn't had a chance to test it in a disk drive that I know worked, so now that I know that it works, that's a good. Oh, maybe I'll leave it in there because maybe it wants it again. I would like to think at some point that these fireworks in fact end. Oh. Oh. Yes. Something also available from Epic. Okay, there's an ad. Summer Games. Okay, anyway, it's an ad for Epics on their blimp. It is. Anyway, it does seem they do put an awful lot of effort into this. Oh, here comes blimp again. I think the disk drives might be not helping your view of this. But I'm sure you can hear it. Anyway, I'm sure this will end at some point. So the next thing I will do after I stop this, I'm really hoping this stops. I'm hoping, is I will tape these things to these drives. I have a, oh, here comes the blimp again. And the music played on, or the band played on, yes. So what I'm going to do to make sure that I know what's what is tape all these things so I know what's what. I'll put them under this table so I know what's what. And still, as you may have seen, I need to, well, there's a lot of things I need to do. I need to get a station set up where I can just test things to do with the Commodore 64. And, yeah, no, here comes the blimp again. And I haven't quite done that. And I want to have a place for a 128, and I want to have a place for an Amiga, and a PET, and such. So right now in this room, I know you can only see a little bit, I've got 4 tables, and they're mostly full. This is actually the one. I have a big TV, and this table is a big solid table, and that's the one a TV should be on. Because the other tables I have, they're great, I like them. They fold in the middle. Are you done yet? The flame is out. You can stop any time. Are you done? Oh, here comes the blimp. Anyway, so, yes, what I really need to do is empty this table, and just because of the way things work out in here, really the best place for the TV to be is on this table, but not in this position. So, I have to get everything off this table, and maybe stuff out from under this table, of which there is lots. I don't think this ever ends. Maybe it does. Anyway, and then shift the table over there. But see, the TV is a big old plasma thing. And it's funny when I refer to anything of the big TVs these days as old. Because to me, they're all, you know, pretty new. Anyway, but then, and it's heavy. This thing is not like the new things where it's just like, oh yeah, here's a TV, it's great. So it's heavy. So I've got to get this table into position, or somewhat into position, and then be able to pick up this big beast, slide it over here, get things set up, and have it all dandy, and everything just, as they would say, tickety-boo. This thing is not ending. Oh, here comes the blimp. I'll hit some keys. Oh! Okay, I hit the key next to the one, which is an arrow key. And, oh. We're back. Insert Summer Games 2, Side 1. Alrighty. Okay, so the shift key oh, and they've released the birds. Thankfully the birds didn't fly into the flame, which I believe I remember hearing a story that at some Olympics the birds actually flew into the flame. Oh, okay. Well, that's beautiful. But I think I'm done with this. I know that it works, and that is what I really want to find out. So I think I'll pop that in here. Oh, that's not the right, that's not it. That's the disc. Oh yeah, almost left a disc. Time to reset. And how do you reset a Commodore 64? You turn it off, because there's no reset switch. So I'm going to load the menu. I am. I'm going to run. And what do we have here? We have a music disc that you have seen recently in another episode. And this came to us, well, anyway, all the songs, of course, are made by different people, but this was from a place called Public Domain Solutions. It is their first music disc, probably produced back in the 80s or so, I think. Anyway, I will load SID Multiplay, and while I'm doing that, I will, and you see, this here this is an earlier drawer. It has less air holes. By the way, what I was saying about summer games and winter games and all those games was that many years ago, some of us would gather in the bulletin board room, and the picture on the T-Pog magazine from December 1984, oh god, that's heavy, oh dear, shows the room kind of from one angle. On the other side, there was a whole bunch of other stuff, of course. But that's the beauty of photography. If you don't want something in the picture, don't put it in. It's funny, a lot of these things, I mean, I kind of know them, but I don't. You know what I think for this moment? But I don't want to do this yet. I will pick this. F1, I will select this. Anyway, so what we would do is we would gather and we would have like whole tournaments of winter games and summer games too, and other such things. But the funny thing about we had to go out and get these things to use, because there was oftentimes you had to move the joystick with great vigor. And just holding a joystick in your hand, I wish I had one here, is tough when you're trying to do specific things. So actually, the company, Wico, I think it was Wico, either that or it was another company, made a board that almost looked like home plate in a baseball game that you could mount the joystick in, so you could have something to really hold on to. So anyway, when I hear this and see this game, it brings back memories from, like 35 years ago, when a bunch of us would gather in the BBS room with the BBS whirring behind us, and we would sit there and have grand competitions. Ah, yes. It was magic. Anyway, I'm going to press play. This is just called Beethoven, so I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds alright, I'm sure. And I will stick my documentation. Well. I'm having a little trouble with this tape dispenser. Oof. Doesn't want to rip the tape nicely. Oof. So now I will put this on a pile 1, 2, 6 disk drives high. And here is the very filthy one. Ugh. Ugh. It almost to me looks like soot. And on the bottom of this is a sticker from a company that I worked for a little while, called ComSpec. they had and did a lot of service for school boards. And they also, oh, come on, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Ow. Look, shucks. I just washed this. Yeah. Anyway, yes, they did a lot of service for school boards, and they had the contract to do service for school boards. And they had really good stickers that they put on things, because they're still here. And, oh, thought that was over. So 6 disk drives seems to be the limit for a pile. And this one is the one that is actually connected and playing right now. Ooh. Oh, this one had documentation. Okay, good. Didn't see that. Anyway, I'll put these on their side next door. And I'll be really careful with this. This is a Lieutenant Colonel hard drive. Does this have documentation? It does not. Works. Right. Oh, it does. But it's fell off. No. Tiny screen flicker. What the heck is this? Alright, this is documentation from a 64 that's fallen off. But there was none on this disk drive. So, I have a document. And don't worry, I'm not going to run these things while covering up the holes for air. Oh! Yeah, these are heavy. That is one thing about the 1541-2 is it's a lot lighter. Now, there's really not as much room on here as I would like. Okay, so that is done, that is done, that is done. Huh? So, remember, if you can't get a disc out and you don't have pliers, a Q-tip. Now I tried to bend this right in half. I didn't quite make it. And the technique is really like get it in over the disc and then give it ever so slightly. Like squeezing is one thing, but squeezing and twisting so you can actually get a grab, you should be able to get the disc out and not hurt the disc. And of course, never put these in your ears. Even though they're made specifically, like perfectly. I use them to clean keyboards. I do. Anyway, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I got to find the interface. But right now I want to put it away. Because remember, I want to clear this table off. And the other thing I need to do, and I need to do it, I think I mentioned this before, is I'm shipping a monitor to the Northwest Territories. And I think I finally found a good box. Now I have to wrap it up and make sure that I'm still sure that it's a good box. Because I don't want to get it all that way and then have it go bad. I really don't. Or have it not work. You know, what's the point if it's not going to work? So, but it is hard to find. Like, definitely, I have a box that's a double, like it's double thickness on the cardboard. And it looks about the same size as what Commodore shipped them in. But of course, I don't have the original styrofoam pieces. So I have a lot of bubble wrap. Lots of bubble wrap. Big bubble wrap. So I am hopeful. And anyway, and it may be that in fact this monitor that I know, not this, but the one behind there that I've tested, may be the one that I end up shipping. Because I know it has been torture tested. It has. So, as they say, that's about all I have to say about that. I will return to the basement and see what else I find. I know I will find things as this cleanup continues. Not cleanup, reorganization. Because you see, if you have a whole room full of boxes, it's not that it's dirty. It's not that things need to be cleaned. There's just too much stuff. So, I am reorganizing, downsizing, looking for efficiencies, or whatever else. And right now, I can get rid of that because I don't need that. This can go here. Tiny screen flicker. I wonder what that came off of. Oh well. Enough for now. Thank you for being here. I'll keep you posted, and soon I will actually start to open some things up and look at things. And I do have, by the way, lots of disk drives to look at. Some are mine. I've got lots. And then I did get some that belong to the Toronto Pet Users Group that I said I would go through, that I keep meaning to go through. But with all the reorganization and efficiencies that I am seeking, I have not had a chance as of yet. Not yet. Alright. Anyway, enough for now. I need to do... You know what I think I need? I think I need to eat a lot of meat and get energy and really, in one swoop, gently reorganize this 4-tabled room, which it may become a 5-tabled room, because, you know, I talked about the table, that this table should be the one with the TV. This is true. I do have another table. It's a smaller one. And it is a one-piece top. And that may be a better one for the TV. It might. But this would be better in the position that what it may end up happening is I bring the smaller table down, which will hold the TV fine, and then I can kind of push that off to the side a bit while I get this table moved into that position and then move the TV back on here. Because the other table, once again, they're fine. They're dandy. I love them. Because, you know, if you need to move them, you put the legs down, you pull out this little thing, you fold them in half, and it's even got a little fabric handle to move them. And they can store nicely. These take up more space to store because they're just big, but they're also much stronger. Much stronger. Like if I'm not sure that I would trust the other tables with a massive pile of disk drives on them. I'm just not sure. Anyway, yeah, so much to do. So much to do. So much. All right. Well, I know that summer game works. I do try and clean up at the end of things. Here is my blank disk that I used to test disk drives with. Oh. Right, that's not what. Here is the 1541 test demo disk, and here is something called Crossword that was in. I love putting glasses on like that. Reminds me of John Boy from the Waltons. Commodore 64. Crossword Magic by L&S Computerware. Commodore 64 and 128. And it does have another thing on here that maybe this was used at a school. Oh. And on the back, it may be, in fact, the same program for the Atari 800, XL, XE, or 48K. Imagine. So this was put out with copyright 1985, 84, 83, 82, 81. Alert is a trademark of Mindscape. Alert. Interesting. Well, I don't know if this works. Maybe I'll have to find out. Anyway, enough. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned. I don't know what's next. I just don't know. But I know that taking these particular glasses off in a dramatic fashion, ow, it's not always easy. Whereas these ones, right, dramatic fashion. That works well. Doesn't catch any hair. Thank you again. See you soon. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye for now.